Good afternoon. I really want to say that I'm sorry I can't be there with you today, but it's probably seemed better to not spread my germs all over the campus. It's not COVID, but it's not pleasant. So I just want to start by the good news, and that is that all of your sons and daughters, all of your students, are invited into and accepted into the honors program by virtue of having applied for the Sister Mary Glennon Scholarship. So Jana and the folks from admissions will tell you how your students will be able to avail themselves of that opportunity electronically and accept admittance to the honors program. And it's my job to spend about 5 minutes telling you why they want to do that. Our honors program consists of 4 elements. There are honors classes, an honors capstone, honors explorations, and honors field trips. The honors classes, we're in the process of updating our curriculum to make it a little bit more flexible for honors students right now. So starting next year, honors students will take 2 interdisciplinary classes in the fall and spring of their first year that will be taught and team taught by members of the Faculty of Religious Studies, Philosophy, History, English, and Fine Arts. And these courses will be an introduction to the study of the liberal arts. After those 2 courses, they will take an additional 6 honors or H+ courses. They can choose which courses they want to take. The honors courses will be courses that consist of all honors students, and will offer several of those a semester. H+ courses will be regular core courses that honors students would take and then work out with the professor a way in which they can, as we would say, plus up one of the assignments to make it a little bit more interdisciplinary, perhaps a little bit more challenging in order to make it satisfy the honors requirement. And doing it this way, we allow the students the opportunity to take classes with fellow honors students, which our honors students tell us is the best part of the program, but it also gives them a little bit of flexibility so that if the honors classes don't necessarily fit into their schedule or their classes for which they already have AP or credit or college credit, they can take something else. This version of the core curriculum is also going to be more flexible for honors students. They will take 10 humanities courses, but instead of taking 2 in each of the 5 humanities departments as everyone else will, they'll take these 2 interdisciplinary courses, 1 course in each of the 5 departments, and then they'll have an additional 3 courses that they can take in any 5 humanities departments. So those 3 electives will allow them to pursue interests. Maybe they want to double up in history, double up in philosophy, and pursue something that they're particularly interested in. So the honors courses really provide an opportunity to explore topics in depth and to get to know students and teachers pretty well in a slightly smaller and more discussion-focused classroom. In addition to that, we also have the capstone experience, which is something that students do in their last or second to last semester of their undergraduate years, and this includes students who will go on to graduate study. We work it out so that folks that graduate in 3.5 years can do it in the fall, their last semester, that fall semester. And this is a project that students identify on their own, and they get a faculty member to work as the director of the project with them, then a second faculty member to serve as an additional reader. The projects are usually interdisciplinary. Sometimes they're a traditional sort of research paper, but often they're something very different. I had a student last semester who did a poster presentation backed by a 20-page research paper about the ethics of the use of genetic engineering tools in medicine. We had a student once put together a rare book exhibit in the university's art gallery using some of his own collected rare books and other books. He wrote up the catalog and wrote the descriptions that went on the wall. It really was a very interesting project. We've had students do performance projects. We've had students do film. We've had students write computer programs. We also have students do the more traditional research paper. And this is an opportunity for students to identify something that is of interest to them and really dig deep into it and maybe even solve a problem, as was the case with the ethics of genetic engineering project that I supervised in the fall. The student identified a problem. She said, if we can solve these ethical issues, we can use these genetic engineering tools. And that's what she did. So these are often very interesting projects, and we tell students it's something you want to talk to potential employers and graduate programs about, because it shows the ability to do independent work at a pretty high level. We also have honors explorations, which are on-campus events. 2 to 3 times a semester, we bring a speaker or presenter to campus, and they will do something exclusively for the honors students. The honors students get a chance to interact with that person. We brought a lot of interesting people to campus over the years. We've had Steve Fishbeck, who was a contestant on Survivor, came to campus and spoke about his experience there in leadership and planning and strategy. We had a polar explorer who had been to the North Pole, the South Pole, and the top of Mount Everest all within a year, came and talked about climate change and planning and leadership. This semester we have a scholar who's written a very well-received book, and her name is Andrea Wolf. She's written a very well-received book about the invention of the idea of the natural, and she'll be coming to campus at the end of March to give a talk to our honors students and take questions from them. We also have a humorist who draws cartoons who's going to be here at the end of February. And then in mid-February, we're going to have a photojournalist who's going to come and show us some of the pictures that he's taken and talk about his job experience. So really very diverse things. We require students to attend these, but we are somewhat flexible. We understand that these students are very busy, so we will record all the presentations and make them available to those students who have, say, an off-campus meet or they're away. These are often on a Friday, sometimes very occasionally over the weekend. So starting next year, we're going to have the honors explorations all be sort of tied together with a common reading. So we're working on that to bring a little bit more sort of thematic unity to the program. And finally, we have the honors trips. We go out a couple of times a semester at least on some kind of trip. We've been doing overnight trips for many years. We've been to Boston, New York, Washington, Philadelphia. We have been to the Adirondacks, climbed a 3,800-foot mountain there, visited an environmental center and a museum, stayed in Lake Placid where the Olympics had been hosted. Those trips really are a great opportunity for all of us to get to know each other a little bit better. We give the students the opportunity to experience some culture outside the immediate area. We've been doing more day hops recently over the past few years, in part because of COVID, but also because our students are very busy and getting people to be free for an entire weekend or an overnight is more and more difficult. So last semester, for example, we did a trip to the New Jersey Performing Arts Center to hear the New Jersey Philharmonic, which was lovely. We also did a trip to Philadelphia to see Les Mis at the Philadelphia Academy of Music. Then we're planning in the spring to do a day hop to New York to either go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Museum of Natural History, or perhaps both. In the times in the past, we've done that trip where we allow students the opportunity to go either to the Metropolitan or to the Museum of Natural History, their choice. And the honors program provides the bus and provides admission to anything that we're going to attend there. Sometimes students have to pick up a meal on their own, but we do try to make these an opportunity to give them a chance to see something a little bit more of the wider world outside the immediate area. So my name, Dr. Joseph Curran. I am the chair of the Religious Studies Department and the director of the Medical and Health Humanities Program and associate director of the Honors Program. Dr. Brian Carso, who's the director of the Honors Program, is an associate professor of history and government, director of our pre-law program. And Dr. Carso can't be here, ironically, because he's on jury duty. We also have students work with a lot of the faculty in humanities who love to teach honors classes, and they also participate in the explorations and come on the trips and so forth. So if you have questions, certainly Jonna will tell you how you can get in touch with me. It's jcurran@misericordia.edu, but Jonna can help you out with that. And, I invite you to consider this opportunity. It's really a great chance for students to add an additional interdisciplinary dimension to their education. It looks terrific to graduate with university honors. So thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your day.